It's Do Time with Pastor Steph.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Rise and shine. You're on with this Do Time with Pastor Steph. How are you this morning? That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. For this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. So, where were you all week? We started off the week with the Shaking the Monday Morning Blues theme and relationship dilemmas. Why would a mother-in-law only call her daughter-in-law only after the marriage? Only when she became officially the daughter-in-law, why would they only call her as the make and model of her car? Yes. So she went from Joan to a Ford Tempo. As Tamika said, a VW Bug. Yes. Come on. You know why? These are the kind of relationship dilemmas that real people have. So you want to go back to Monday and get the real deal about how things can really go down. And sometimes things are really just not a relationship dilemma. It's pretty cut and dry. Well, we had our switch with Shantice. Stop being mediocre. You know, we were born to be above and to have dominion over this earth. There is nothing that anybody can tell us that we are mediocre. The Bible says we have been fearfully and wonderfully made. Now, if you are walking around feeling like you're mediocre, then you don't have the right understanding of who God has created you to be. So go back and listen to Monday's practical switch tip. It just might encourage you. Well, let's talk about it. Tuesday, Church Folk Day rolled around, and we got to talking about that new drug that they say 45 times more potent than fentanyl. Unfortunately, 2 of our young people, 21 and 22 years old in Texas, unfortunately made a fatal decision when they decided to use this particular drug. And they didn't even know anything about it. And that's the way it works. One thought he was taking Xanax. One thought he was taking fentanyl. And here we are. 2 of our young people are no longer here, which, kind of got us in the conversation of what do you do to deter your children from taking drugs? It is an extremely hard task these days because kids are losing hope. Kids are committing suicide. Kids are trying drugs more and more and more. And again, the thing about it is, years ago, you didn't have this, but you got it now. So how in the world are you handling, just really talking to your kids these days? Because talking to our kids these days is not like talking to our kids in the years gone by. And we need to teach them how to pray for themselves. Us praying for them is no longer the only thing that needs to be in effect. They've got to pray for themselves. Yes. Well, wow, Wednesday rolled around, and here we are with the homeless numbers again from our Mayor Eric Adams' office. And we don't really know whether we're going to believe those numbers or not. We're definitely hoping that 1,000 people or 1,000 homeless people have moved from, homelessness to a stable place to live. We're definitely praying that those numbers are true. Back to school time is here, and that bell to bell band is on. Parents, get yourselves together, because you're going to have to help those kids keep all of the internet enabled devices out of the school. Yep, it's on. It's on, because some schools have already started, even here in New York. Yes. So come on, make sure they don't have those watches. Make sure they don't have those phones. Make sure they don't have, those tablets, so that they can focus on school and only on school and interacting with their peers. Well, yesterday, Therapeutic Thursday rolled around, and I'm going to send you back to listen. Yes, go back and watch. What did we talk about? That should be the trivia question. Well, here we are. Today, Freestyle Friday. We made it, y'all, by the grace of God. We're here. And we want to definitely get this party started so we can get to talking to the men. And we've got some stuff to talk about today. All right. So go ahead and get that healthy breakfast. Go ahead and tell anybody, that It's Due Time with Pastor Steph is on. And whatever you do, don't go anywhere, because we will be right back.
Jones was a former African-American slave who went into Arkansas. He stacked his money up and he became a railroad owner. He owned a railroad system, and the city of Pine Bluff, Arkansas ended up buying his railroad system, and that system is still owned by Pine Bluff right now. The Patterson Car Company was a car company founded by former slaves, African-American men, and the Patterson Car Company was the first African-American car manufacturer in the country, I think the only manufacturer in the country. And what's interesting about the Patterson Car Company, it was in Ohio. Their cars were considered higher quality than the Model T cars that Henry Ford had.
The DeRay brothers, Ford and them stole it. That's why all over the world, Ford never gets credit.
There we go. Good morning, and good morning again. Welcome back to It's Due Time with Steph. And it's Freestyle Friday, y'all. We made it. We've made it. Oh, by the grace of God. Others didn't, but we did. Now, it's time to say good morning. So if you're in the room, I need to know you're in the room. So give me a hearty good morning, and I'll give you a hearty good morning back. We're checking in. First person to check in is our girl, Ketty. Good morning, Ketty. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm trying to get this volume together. All right. I think I got it. Oh, we got a check-in from Evans, all the way from Kenya. Yeah, you know where Kenya is. I hope you know where Kenya is. Good morning, Evans. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us. And a good morning to Kyra. Good morning, Kyra. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We got a check-in from our brother, Serge. Hey, Serge. How you doing? Thank you so much for joining us. We've got a check-in from our girl, V. Hey, Vivian. How you doing? Thank you so much for joining us. Now, Before we go any further, I got to make sure I shout out our ladies who keep us running here on Facebook and YouTube Live every morning. We got a shout out for our girl Shantice. Hey, Shantice. We got a shout out for our girl Anika. Hey, Anika. Thank you so much, ladies, for keeping us going every day. Now we got a shout out to Miss Grace. Hey, Miss Grace. How you doing? Hope you're doing well this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, I put out a post yesterday and I sent out some text messages yesterday because my 2 cents, you know what that is. That's our film and TV review that we do with our brother Ainsley and our girl Shantice on Thursdays. So we try to do every other Thursday. And we have our review coming up next week. And we're doing Spike Lee joints. Yes. So you get to decide which one. We're going to do 2 movies. And we are going to let you decide which Spike Lee joint we're going to review. So the choices. 1, Do the Right Thing. Remember, that's where one of the movies where Martin got his start. Yeah, that was the pizza shop and Mookie and Tina and Radio Raheem. Do you want to see that one? Review that one, laugh at that one, talk about that one. Or School Days, Tisha Campbell, what's his name? Lawrence Fishburne, Giancarlo Esposito. Yeah, the college days. Yeah. That was some conversational piece. And or Brooklyn. Yeah. Now, I got to tell you, the votes are coming in. And we are tied. Well, we just got another vote. So that just put us over by one of the movies. So if you have not voted. Now, Serge, I have not heard from you. Vivian, I have not heard from you. Kathy, I have not heard from you. Come on, y'all. If you have not voted, make sure you put it in the chat room. Anika, where you at? Haven't vote? I haven't heard. I saw you liked it, but I didn't get your vote. Did I miss that vote? Come on, y'all, because we're going to talk about it with the men, and we're going to hear what the men have to say. Which movie are we going to review? Now, we just may have our brother Ainsley on this morning, who will be with us next week, God spares. So, your girl Shantice has already voted. So, we'll see what the people have to say. All right? All right. So, make sure you get those votes in. I'm taking tallies over here. All right. So, talk about votes. You know what we do on Friday. That's our celebrity and entertainment news day and all that kind of good stuff. Well, something that came up on my radar was where my girls at. And that's R&B girl groups that I don't know if we're remembering anymore, because I just kind of glanced at the first one and I was like, who is this? Oh, you better believe I didn't forgot about her, because I don't even know what they sang. Well, one of the first ones is Cleopatra. Y'all know who that is? I have no idea who Cleopatra is. No. Let me see if they even... Oh, they're a British R&B pop group. I'm sorry, I'm in America. I don't know. Cleo, Yona, and Zaname Higgins. Okay. So they signed to Madonna's. No wonder you forgot about them. Okay, they signed to Madonna's label. Well, they came out in 1998. That was when one of my girls were born. I don't think I heard about him in 27 years. Moke and Steph. I remember Moke and Steph. He's mine. Yeah. Moke and Steph, Monifa, Kenya, and Stephanie. Did you forget about Moke and Steph? Because this is the list. The list is R&B girl groups that they say we forgot about. Well, Moke and Steph was a one-hit wonder, so you could easily forget about them. And they are an LA R&B group. All right. 3LW. Now, they may not have been ones who you could forget about, and I'll tell you why. Adrian from The Real and Notori Norton is from Power. And the other girl, they were in Cheetah Girls. Adrian and the other chick, they were in Cheetah Girls. So I don't know if you could necessarily have forgotten about them. Yeah, Adrian Balin, Kylie Williams, and Notori Norton. And you remember them. No more, I don't want to do right. Yeah, you remember that. Or Baby, I'ma do right. Okay. And Players Gonna Play. Yeah, I remember them. I haven't forgotten about them. Drama. I don't know who they are. I don't know about y'all, but I don't know who these people are. They're an R&B trio from the 90s, and they were signed to Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis's records. And they were discovered by Gerald Levert. The late, the great Gerald Levert. Now, maybe had he still been alive, they would have been something. He also helped produce their 1997 album, Open Invitation. Well, closed invitation, because I ain't heard nothing about it. Willie Max. Yo, they really mean you forgot about these people, because these people hardly ever even existed. Detroit-based R&B group. Rose, Sky, and Lyric Williams. They must be related. Signed to Raphael Sadiq's Pookie Records. Pookie Records. You automatically going down. Back in 1998. Girl! GYRL. You know what? Some of these names are not even memorable. Oh, Pastor Steph is starting to get uncomfortable again. So y'all gonna have to help me. They were a teen R&B group. Jamila Mayoka, and Paulette Maxwell. A lot of these look like family groups, girl groups, sisters. They were in the mid-90s. And they got one single, Play Another Slow Jam. So that was probably a remake to the first one. Assorted Flavors. Yo, the names are whack. What are you doing? There are, let's see, Lakeisha, Julia, and Tiffany, and Antonia. So they have Be Patient, Tell Me, and Don't Let Go. I don't know. They said blended R&B, jazz, and hip hop. Jade. Now, Jade, I remember. Don't walk away, boy. Yeah, I remember Jade. And that was Tanya, Joy, and Dee Reed. Signed to Giant Records. And back in 1992. Wow. Allure. Now, let me tell you something. Talk about a one-hit wonder. I loved their song. Yes. Now, they were signed to Mariah Carey's records. They were known for All Cried Out, the remake, with 112. Yeah, they were good. They had a jamming beat. For real. Now, you would know for real if you knew the soundtrack to Waiting to Exhale. Because they had one banging hit, well, every hit on Waiting to Exhale was banging. One of the top R&B CDs ever made. Definitely one of the top soundtracks. Well, they had a hit on there, Love Will Be Waiting at Home, and that was produced by, what's his name? Babyface. Now, Isis. Now, this looks like Maya in this picture. And you know Maya, little Maya. I don't know if that's her. She looks like she's a part of this R&B 2000s group. Whack, because, boy, they just look whack. JS. Who is that? Now, they were mentored by R. Kelly and signed by Interscope Records. And they had a release called Ice Cream. Now, here's the interesting part. Check this out. They were a sister duo, Kim and Candy Johnson. And Candy is currently married to Ron Isley. Now, you want to know why ain't nobody remembered her? How are you married to Ron Isley and you had a hit back in 2003? That means you about 2 years old, or you were 2 years old back then, or he's about 150. Because ain't nowhere in the world, if you were in this singing group, all these young girls from the 2000s and 90s, you should be married to some Ronald Isley. You about as young as his granddaughter. So we're going to forget you just because you out of your league. Cherish. Does anybody remember Cherish? They're an Atlanta-based R&B group. I don't even know. 2006. Do It To It. Nina Sky. I remember the name. Identical twins, Natalie and Nicole Albino. And they got a 2004 reggaeton, Move Your Body. Y'all probably remember that because reggaeton was about that quick. And the songs were a hit, but they didn't last long. TG4. Yo, back in the 2000s, their single was Virginity, back in 2002. KP and Envy. You should see the way they spell envy. That's why they didn't go nowhere. R&B group. Where they from? Doesn't say. But 1998. Listen, you know what? If they was going to say we forgot about these girls group, there should have been some groups that we even knew existed. That's what the name of this list should be. We didn't even know they existed. Who knew? And let me tell you what I'm having a problem with. Why I say these people, I don't even know who they are. Back in 1998, 2000s, radio was popping. Yes. And that's all you did was listen to the radio. So those are the groups that we don't remember. AKA the groups we never even heard of. Let me see what y'all got going on here. Let's see. Boy. Okay, so this how y'all know y'all pay attention. The vote was for the 3 Spike Lee movies: Do the Right Thing, School Days, and Crooklyn. Why do I get Jungle Fever? I didn't ask y'all nothing about Jungle Fever. School Days, Do the Right Thing, and Crooklyn. We are not reviewing Jungle Fever, even if you voted for it. That's not in the mix. Listen, we're being very strategic here, okay? That's not in this rank of movies. Now, Spike has done some controversial movies. Do the Right Thing had some points, but was not controversial. School Days was not all that controversial, had its points, and Crooklyn was about fun. So please follow directions. All right. So I'm scratching that. Okay. I'm tallying, y'all. See, y'all wouldn't have to have me tally if y'all did this when I put it out there. All right. We're getting our weight here. Okay. Serge says 702. He wants to talk about 702. Okay, I like their music. All righty. Okay. Anika says, I love TLC and En Vogue. Well, TLC and En Vogue, again, y'all not paying attention. We're talking about the groups you forgot. Or they claim we forgot, but I claim we never knew about. Come on, y'all, pay attention. Get with the program. So we're not talking about the groups from back in the day that we liked. Okay, y'all are still asleep today. All right, girl, I'm with Shantice. Girl, who? Never even heard of them before. Hey, Miss Charlene, good morning. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us. I agree with you, Shantice. The names in and of itself, you've got to have catchy stuff. Now, TLC and En Vogue, I ain't gonna say that they were names that were popping, but they kind of made us remember who they were because of their music. Now, unfortunately, these girl groups had whack names and whack music. All righty. Okay, y'all are off the chain because Shati said I can't stand the twins from ISIS. You spelled the name wrong. Okay. Allure. I remember them. Yes. Sorry, it's Cherish. That has the group with the twins that I don't like. Wow. Okay. Nina Sky did I don't know, Shanti. You're going to have to send that one to me yesterday. Oh, okay. She's singing from downstairs. Okay. Wow. Okay. I remember that song. All righty. So Anika says, I remember songs, but not the names of the one-hit wonders. We, in this house is funny. We are name people. So we remember names of groups. We remember names of actors, producer. Yeah, I don't know. We the credits people. It's real weird. I don't know why, but we remember things like that. Shati said crickets. Oh, Tamika says crickets. I have absolutely nothing to say. It's true because they are zero. All righty. Hey, Teresa. Serge, Changing Faces. I remember them. Yes, I remember them. Oh boy. All right. So let's talk about some news. Well, we all know, and I don't do this a whole lot. And I think what I'll do is at the end of the year, I'm just going to do one big list of all the people that we've lost. But I just so happened to mention last week about the cancer thing, how we're losing so many people to cancer. And lo and behold, this week, we lost Danielle Spencer. Everybody remembers Danielle Spencer. D from What's Happening. At 60 years old, she passed away from cancer. They didn't say what kind of cancer, but yeah, that wasn't one of the most. That was some sad news. And right, I think the week I was away or something like that, or sick or something. We lost Malcolm Jamal Warner, and there's some controversy behind how he passed away, and yeah, that one doesn't seem to be going away so quickly. So I think at the end of the year, I'm just going to do one big list of all of our people who we've lost this year. So in the interim, so who's got beef, as they say? Cameron and Omar Gooding has beef. Now, you know Omar Gooding. He's from Smart, what's the name of that thing, Shanti? Smart Guy. Yeah. With Tia and Tamara's brother, Essence Atkins. Now, he is the younger brother of Cuba Gooding Jr. So why do they have beef? Because Cameron seems to stay in stuff, and you don't really hear much about Omar Gooding, but they've been going back and forth somehow or another. Cuba and Cameron, the older brother and Cameron, got into something, and the younger brother Omar ended up somehow in the mix. So Cameron decided to have his people, who are some movie producers, he had them call one of the brothers, and I believe it was Omar, to do like an audition for a movie and do some like push-ups and things like that. It was one of the brothers. And lo and behold, after all that he went through at this audition, it ended up not being an audition. It was a prank. So the brothers didn't take too kindly to that. So now war is on. Now, for what I understand, they're saying that one of these brothers can really rap. Yeah. Now, they say that his rap is really good. And surprisingly, when they heard the rap, they were impressed. So Cameron started to talk about the brother rapping, and they were like, you might want to fall back, because they say it's pretty sharp. So I guess those of us, well, Omar Gooding raps. He's known by Big O, and they say he was hitting it, so this is the terminology that's used here, Shanti's. Please do not bother me. So we'll see. We'll see if we actually end up hearing some of this rap music that Omar Gooding has in his arsenal. Let's see what else we got to talk about in the entertainment field. Okay. So I'm going to be talking to, let's say, Miss Charlene. I'm going to be talking to Ketty. Trouble Man. Do you remember Trouble Man? Yeah. Wasn't that with, I thought that was Fred Williamson. Well, there's going to be a remake. Okay. Trouble Man stars Jim Brown and Fred Williamson as his sidekick. I know Fred Williamson was in it. Well, Michael Jai White. Everybody knows Michael Jai White. He's from Why Did I Get Married? Why Did I Get Married 2? He's done quite a few different movies. Well, he is redoing Trouble Man. And guess who he has as his sidekick, who is playing Fred Williamson's role? Method Man, y'all. Yeah. So Method Man is going to also star. He said he could not have done it without Meth. Well, I believe it, because Michael Jai White ain't really much of an actor, in my opinion. So Meth would have definitely, if he's rocking that role, he would have brought him up. Now, who else is on this list of cast that I was kind of surprised. They say Lala Anthony. Now, she's been popping up everywhere, literally, especially on the Stars app. Yeah, was in Power. Then she's in The Shy. She's in what's the other one? BMF. And they said she did one heck of a job. Now I got to see this just because. Now also, who's going to be in it is Mike Epps and Orlando Jones. Now I happen to like Orlando Jones. I like him. He hasn't been in a whole lot of movies, but he played in what's the movie with the Drumline, as what is that guy? The one who, the drum master or the teacher or the coach or whoever that is. So he's doing this movie with a nice lineup of characters. So we'll see. I think I'll check it out. I think I wouldn't mind checking it out. All right. What else are we talking about today in our entertainment news? Let's see. All right. So Malcolm X. And we're going to definitely talk about this one with my guys. So Malcolm X, they have now named the Harlem Station, 110th Street Station and Central Park North. They've named that Malcolm X something. Yeah. They've named that after Malcolm X. I think they call it 110th Malcolm X Plaza. Now, I believe this might be on, I think, the A line. I guess, Serge, you can help me with this one. Is that the A line? They are saying that it's the 110th Street Central Park North subway station. And I believe that's on that ACBD line. I don't think that's on the 1, 2, and 3 line. So they've now named it 110th Malcolm X Plaza. Kathy Hochul was there to do the honors, along with Malcolm X's daughters. So I'm going to talk to the guys to find out if they feel like that's really honoring him. I was a little surprised because they say that his mosque or whatever it is that he had in Harlem was on 116th Street. So I was a little surprised that 116th Street was not the name, the train station that they went after. So the 110th. Let me see if Serge said anything here. I was right. All right, yeah. Okay, Deacon Diallo said it was a 2 and 3. No, the 2 and 3 is not that Central Park side. That's on the west side. The 2 and 3 is more on the east side or toward the middle. But that's what kind of alerted me to it must be on that AC B and D line. So Serge says, I'm right. Good morning, Deacon Diallo. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, right. So that's the B and C local. Yes. Because I know the A and the D bypass it on the express route. So, but that line altogether. So yeah, I do you feel like this is honoring him? Now, don't we have a Malcolm X Boulevard somewhere? Shanti's, check that out for me. I thought we had a Malcolm X Boulevard, but they're expanding it to giving him the Malcolm X Plaza. Now, ain't a whole lot over there on 110th Street last I was there. But hey, some people say some things are better than others. If you named Stephanie Griffin Boulevard, I should be happy. So I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering what everybody is feeling and thinking. All righty. I got 2 of my guys on with me already. So I'm going to finish up my news. So let's see what the last one is. So for all of you Chris Brown fans, there has been an accusation that, and I want to talk about this. I hope Ainsley's on today. I know Pastor KL is on, but they are looking at the fact that, what's his name? Chris Brown is putting up a 2-hour show, 2-hour plus show. They say with full-fledged dancing, full-fledged singing. They said like powerhouse. And one individual says that, she gives him a compliment. And she was like, oh, this is great. He can, he's holding down, these 2 hours. He's not getting tired. He must be on cocaine. So he actually responds, and I would say kind of mildly, because he says, no booger sugar over here. And that's the way he's responding to the accusations that he's using cocaine in order to get through his shows. Now, here was something that I read at the very end of the article. And you know what? I'm going to hold on to that as I talk to my guys. And I'm going to see what they say. Because when I read that, I can't say whether he uses drugs or not. But when I heard this piece, I was like, you better do something. And I'm not encouraging the drug use. But I don't know, some Red Bull or something. I don't know. So we'll see what is going down. So, let's get rid of the girls group. Let's definitely get rid of that one. And let's see who's in the room. Let's talk to our Pastor Jeff. Hey, Pastor Jeff.
Hey, good morning.
How are you?
Doing well.
Good. I missed you last week.
Missed you too.
Last week. Well, thank you very much. You were hanging out with my girl Shantice. So how was that experience?
She all right.
Oh my goodness. I'm sure she'll enjoy that review. So, Pastor Jeff, I'm hung up here with my thing. Do you remember Trouble Man, Pastor Jeff, the movie Trouble Man with Jim Brown and Fred Williamson?
That was your time, not mine.
You're a mess, Pastor Jeff. He said that's my time.
I kind of remember the name, but I really don't remember the show. But I remember the actors.
Okay. Well, Trouble Man was a big movie. Remember Trouble Man by Marvin Gaye? Remember that song?
The song? That's probably where I remember the name. Probably
the name from, yes. He sang the theme song to this movie. And they are doing a remake. And the remake is being done by Michael Jai White. Do you know who he is?
Yes.
Okay. And his sidekick. So he's playing the Jim Brown. He's running the Jim Brown role. His sidekick, Fred Williamson's role, is being portrayed by none other than Method Man.
Okay.
And what do you think of that, even that pairing? Do you think that would be a good pair? Now, we got to see the movie in order to really kind of dictate what would happen in real life. But what do you think of even hearing the two of them kind of running it together?
I mean, I like both their acting.
Okay.
I think they're talented enough to make it mesh.
Okay.
I don't see a problem with it.
Okay. Now, who's joining them is actually Lala Anthony, Orlando Brown, and Mike Epps.
Okay.
Is that a movie that sound like you would want to go see?
Sounds like it, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm with you. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make it a date. We're going to go see it not together necessarily, but we're going to make a date to come back to My 2 Cents, the review, the movie and review, the TV film review we do with Brother Ainsley and Shantice. And
when's it coming out?
They say it's coming out. Let me see. They cheated me here, Pastor Jeff. They bumped me out here. So give me a minute. Because I don't want to misspeak. Let's see. Because I was looking for that too. And I think they said it. Let's see. Wow. Okay. No, they don't say. They don't say. Well, generally they put out, let's say within a year. So we know within a year it'll be out. But I'm going to keep my eye on it because I'm definitely interested in seeing the combination of Michael Jai White and Method Man. I'm interested in seeing that because he claims Method Man and Lala Anthony did one phenomenal job. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. Now, you got Harlem's 110th Street and what is it? Central Park North subway station, which is the B and the C line. They have named that after Malcolm X. So they named it 110th Malcolm X Plaza. What do you think about that? Do you think that's honoring him? Do you think they could have done a little better, given a bigger name, a bigger street to his name? What do you think?
I mean, I think it's good. I mean, it's a street. I honestly already thought there was a Malcolm X Boulevard.
Yes, and that's what I asked Shantice to check out for me. So she's saying, wait, she's checking out to see. Because I thought there was a Malcolm X Boulevard also, Pastor Jeff. So I'm going to find out if that's the case. We're going to find out now. They had Kathy Hochul. Okay, she sent it. It's in Brooklyn. She said it's in Brooklyn, yeah. Pastor Jeff.
Okay. So
all right. Yeah, so we both remember right.
He got 2 boroughs now.
Right. So, Pastor Jeff, what I notice is, and I'll say maybe you have noticed it, or maybe not. It's when you name a street, one thing, and you've been knowing the street forever and ever. Amen. When it changes the names, do you find yourself using the new name or the old name?
I still use the old name, like New York Boulevard,
Yes, Guy R. Brewer.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I know a couple of people who still call it New York Boulevard too.
Uh-huh.
Who was here from years ago. So yeah, Guy R. Brewer, which we call Guy R. Brewer because that's what it was when we got here. But there was still, and when my mother went to her grave calling it New York Boulevard. But she couldn't even say, she was like New York Boulevard. So that, I guess that's part of one of my questions and why I'm asking, does it really matter? Because sometimes people they don't even change what they call it, so it's like, does it really matter at the end of the day? But for some people
the new folks,
yes,
coming up, they're not going to remember the whole name. So
right. So that's what I was thinking. I'm like, well, the same way I got here and started calling it Guy R. Brewer, like you said, the new arrivals will now call it Malcolm X 110th Malcolm X Plaza. All righty. Thank you so much for joining us, Pastor Jeff. Let's see if Brother Al is ready to talk to us. Hey, Brother Al.
Chop of the morning, chop of the morning. How you doing?
I am well, thank you, Brother Al. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. Today is the last day. Yesterday was the last day of summer school, and today is the last day of the camp. I am free. Thank God Almighty, I am free.
All right. Well, I'm celebrating with you. You'll have a couple of minutes without the without the kiddies. So
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. You be all good. You keep going. I'm taking them on a trip today, so I'm all good. I'm just getting there early.
All righty, all righty. All right, we got some information from our viewers, but we're talking about Trouble Man. You and our age group, Brother Al. You remember Trouble Man?
Trouble Man.
The
I didn't see
movie
it. I
with
remember the
Jim
name.
Brown.
I remember the name, but I never saw the movie.
Okay, so you got Jim Brown and Fred Williamson, who starred in it. Well, they're doing a remake. Michael Jai White is playing Jim Brown's role, and he said he pulled in Method Man to play the Fred Williamson role. What do you think of that duo?
I think Method Man gonna do really well because he has became a really good actor. As far as Michael Jai, he's an okay actor. You know, what I mean, I had to see it. You know, I think he's a decent actor. He's not like that big phenomenal actor to me, but I think he's a decent actor. So I'm not sure about own as an actor. So, I would like to see it and see how it looks.
Well, I'm kind of with you. I'm not impressed much with his acting. He's had like one role or two that I was like, okay, he was good. I think he played great opposite Tasha Smith in Why Did I Get Married? Yeah. And I think that's what he needs. He needs that challenge. So when he says that Lala Anthony and Method Man were phenomenal, maybe they are extracting what we need to get out of him. You never know. So Mike Epps, Orlando Jones are also slotted to be in this movie. Is it something you think you'll go see?
Yeah, I would check it out. See, the support, see how they doing.
Make this a date. You, Pastor Jeff, and myself. We're gonna make sure we check it out, and we're gonna come back to my 2 cents. And we're going to review it. We're going to see what, and you know what we're going to do is we're going to compare it to the old one, especially for you and Pastor Jeff who haven't seen the old one. So we can do that. That's going to be a fun remake.
Yes, I got to see the old one. I'm going to look at the old one too.
Yes. We're all going to look at the old one, and we're going to look at the new one, and we're going to do a comparison. I'm talking to you and Pastor Jeff about this because it is pointless to talk to Pastor KL about this because he ain't going to know what I'm talking about. So I ain't even bothering.
Hey, look, Pastor, we got a movie. We got a movie night. We got a movie night at your house with popcorn and everything. Trouble Man featuring at Pastor Steph house.
Listen, I'm down. You and Pastor Jeff are nothing but a minute away from me. So yeah, yo, I say it's a date. We can do that. We can make it happen. Like that. Yes. I actually like that. Hey, where's Pastor Jeff? We lost Pastor Jeff. Where's Pastor Jeff, Shantice? She got rid of you, Pastor Jeff, because you said she's all right. Pastor Jeff, are you down? Brother Al, you, myself, Lady Tamika, we all pile up in Pastor Steph's house at the movie theater. You down?
Sure, no problem.
All right. We're going to do this, and we're going to leave Pastor KL in Alabama. He ain't going to want to look at it no way.
Don't forget the popcorn.
Listen, absolutely. And we're going to make it a week where Ainsley is in New York. So he can come over and watch it with us. So it'll be all of us, the Due Time crew, watching Trouble Man. And we'll see how we review it. But we see, here's the thing about it. When we watch it together, we can't talk because we do unless we do a review like right afterwards. So we'll see. But the possibilities are endless. But I like that idea, Brother Al. I like that idea. Now we're talking about Malcolm X being renamed, his name being honored by changing 110th Central Park North on the B, C, A, and D line to 110th Malcolm X Plaza. What do you think about that? Do you think that's honoring him? Do you think it should have been a bigger street? What do you think?
I think it's a good thing. You know, the way the world is going now and how they look down on us color folks. You know, I think it's a great thing because when y'all was talking, I was trying to get your attention. Because yeah, Malcolm X Boulevard is in Brooklyn, not too far. I'm a few blocks away from it. So yeah, I think any honorary that we can give is a good thing.
Okay. Well, Deacon Diallo says yes, it's off Utica Avenue. Serge says yes, there is an Malcolm X Boulevard in Brooklyn. And
we losing everybody. Good.
What'd you say? Oh, okay.
No, I lost you for a second. So
okay. Let's see. Tamika says City Points in Brooklyn will always be Albee Square Mall to me. Tisk. Okay, so she was talking about, I was asking Pastor Jeff, when they changed the names of these streets, do you call them by their new names or do you call them by their old names?
It's funny. I wound up calling him by his old name for a while, and then I get used to the new name. Like a perfect example, over by me, we used to we have the highway. It used to be called the Interborough, but now it's been called the Jackie Robinson Parkway. So for a long time, I call it the Interborough, and I'm so used to it now. I call it the Jackie Robinson. So I call it for a while until I get used to it.
Okay. And I think that probably happens with most people. I'm still not, what is this, RFK Bridge? It's the Triborough Bridge. Cut it out. So I'm with y'all, for a while, you call it that, but some things just kind of stick in your head. This Tuskegee Airman Way, Pastor Jeff, used to be South Road.
Yeah,
I still call it South Road.
I still
right.
call it
I'm
South
not
Road too. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I ain't calling it Tuskegee Airman Way. Yo, that's too many words to say. South Road is real quick and simple. So we'll see how this Malcolm,
especially if it's a hard name.
Yeah, and one that you can't even pronounce. All righty.
Yeah.
Oh, Tamika says I'm in. Let's do it. I'm driving. Woo wee. All right. Brother Al, Tamika's driving over to my house to have the movie night. Shati says we're having movie night on Sunday. Let's schedule another one for the old folk. Wow. Okay, Pastor Jeff, I'm with you.
Tell Shati she's not invited.
That's right, just for that.
Tell Shati she's not invited. You're not invited. Matter of fact, she could be the person. Shati could be the person to get us popcorn and soda when we need it.
Anika says, I was just thinking that too, Brother Al. I don't know, maybe the movie night, Anika will be over with us. She'll be laying back in the cut because she does the tech for our My Two Cents. And that will always be South Road to Shantice. I'm not there. Who's making the popcorn? I'll charge $40 a purchase. Let's pull in our Pastor KL. He must be sitting over there saying, yo, they must be like lost their mind. I've been laying back in the cut. Hey, Pastor KL.
What it do, crew? What it do?
How are you all?
I guess
you
all
the dog, the piano, all of them. How all of y'all doing?
We're doing well.
Well, are you comfortable, Pastor KL?
Yeah. This is my chill spot right now. I'm with the fellas.
You know what? Pastor Jeff and Brother Al, I'm a little mad because I can't relax like that when I do my show. I'm mad. I am so mad. Yeah. All right, Pastor KL. Since you can't come over and look at Trouble Man with us, you probably wouldn't know way. Let's talk about Malcolm X Boulevard and Malcolm X Plaza. So they've, as you've heard, they've changed the train station to 110th Malcolm X Plaza. Do you feel that's like really an honor to, put that name there? Are they going to call it that at the end of the day?
Yeah, I think it's still an honor. You know, at this point for us, if we can get a corner, if we can get a block, you know what I mean, a square, you know, to put our name on it, it's great. I think the sad part about it is that these new children that's coming up, they're not gonna know who Malcolm X is.
Unfortunately. Absolutely. All right. I agree with all of you guys. My thing is, you know what? We can do it. We can do it. You know, everybody who's on 110th will know they're on 110th. And I think whatever we can, you know, get our name stamped on, let's do it. Let's do it. So I'm in agreement. I'm definitely in agreement. All righty. Now, before we go into our next, oh no, you know what? Let's talk about this for a little while, and then I'll shut it down, and then I'll go into our other thing. All right, so we're coming up on. Let me get the name right. Oh, Ainsley's on. Let's call up Brother Ainsley. Brother Ainsley, do you look like Pastor KL right now?
No, I wish. I'm driving. I wish I was laid back like that.
Oh my goodness. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
Lean back. Lean that seat back.
Lean back. Lean back.
Not while he's driving. Not while he's driving. All right, Brother Ainsley. So we're talking about Trouble Man remake. We're gonna wait for you to hit New York soil when it comes out. And
I'm in New York right now. What you can do it right now.
I know. It's not out right now, unfortunately.
All right. But I'm in New York all the time. It's all good. We're gonna make that happen.
All right. So I'm excited to have everybody over. So, all right. So we got Trouble Man with Michael Jai White, Method Man, Lala Anthony, Orlando Jones, and Mike Epps. Is that something you would want to go see if we were not all having movie night over at Pastor Steph's house?
Yeah, I would go see it because actually, I would like to go see Method Man. I've been really impressed with Method Man, particularly in the Power series and whatnot. I'm really impressed with him. Michael Jai White, he's good, but to me, he seems to be more the action seems a little bit more one-dimensional with the fighting and the martial arts kind of stuff like that. I like to see him delve into something more dramatic and stuff like that. So, and you said he's taking over Jim Kelly. That's the whole martial arts fighting kind of guy.
Not Jim Kelly. So of course he was. Wait. Not Jim Kelly, because that's what I thought. Because he is a martial arts specialist. No, he's taking over the Jim Brown role.
Oh, Jim Brown. Oh, okay.
Right.
All right, the big black guy. All right.
Right, the ex-football player.
Right. Okay.
Right. Okay.
All right. Okay. That'd be interesting. Right. I'll see. I'm going to support us no matter what. That many of us in there? Oh, I got to check that out.
I'll make it happen. So, we are talking about Malcolm X, 1/10 of Malcolm X Plaza. What do you think about the renaming? And do you think people will call it Malcolm X Plaza?
No. I think most people ain't gonna call it that. I think it's a little bit too little, too late. I think really, if you want to do justice, name all of 110th Street, not just that one particular train station, not particular that one block, that particular his name and whatnot. Because to me, if you think of 95th, 98th, 110th, 125th Street, are they gonna really call it Malcolm X? Maybe some of the newer people coming in. But you're only talking to me, if I understand correctly, that's only that one particular train station. So I'm like, I think he's worthy more than that. To me, it's still you kind of belittle him and his influence for the culture and for what he tried to do for us. So I think it should be done more. Name the whole 110th Street. They ain't gonna really do that. But I'm like, and yeah, because I'm in Brooklyn. That Brooklyn guy, Malcolm X Boulevard, that's been here for a minute. So I mean, name the whole. If you're gonna do it, do it. Name the whole street, not that particular, that one little block. Or you basically something called like Way, John Doe Way. That's only like we give you a little recognition, but the block is still named what the block is. You know.
Okay.
So
I get your point. I definitely understand your point. And probably a lot of people feel that way, that it should have been more. Okay. All right.
Well, and I don't like popcorn. I'm just offended.
What happened?
I'm offended that I wasn't even invited. I'm offended I wasn't even invited to the movie night. I like popcorn.
Look at the way you look at the way you sitting there. That's the way you be sitting there while we looking at the movie. I don't want that.
You say you don't want us to talk.
You know, brother gonna go fall asleep on it, man. Come on, man. You know that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You all comfortable. And we hear you probably popping that popcorn like Brother Ainsley does on My Two Cents now.
Brother Ainsley have a buffet.
So I got a bad rep with that, man. All right.
Pastor Steph, so we got to do 2 movie nights. We got to do 2 movie nights. Wow. We got to do one to see the old one. We got to do one to see the old one and one to see the new one.
No, you better take your no-dos and we're gonna look at both the movies together. Cause
it's all good.
One movie night, both movies, Brother Al.
I'll make sure I'm gonna be. Hey, look, I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna make sure I'm hungry too. Make sure you pop a lot of popcorn.
Absolutely. I'm gonna have a whole bunch of hungry men in my house, especially Brother Ainsley. There's not enough popcorn in New York.
Oh my goodness!
I'm a popcorn lover too.
All right.
I'm gonna bring my own season. I'm gonna bring my own season.
Oh, you better bring enough for everybody. You got your
I love popcorn, so don't worry. Oh yeah, I got you.
All right. Listen, you're saying this on the whole YouTube station. So let me tell you something. If you come short, I'm ragging you, Brother Al. That is it.
No, I'm telling you, we fix up a damn coming, and I'm bringing the season. I'm bringing my popcorn season. Go right to Walmart and get my season.
All right. It's on. It's definitely on. All righty. Shanti says it's going to be $40 a bag. Pastor Jeff, for you.
Shantice is not invited. Shantice is not invited.
For Pastor Jeff. And Al, if you keep talking, it'll be 50-50 for you. So I'd stop talking if I were you. All right. Listen, guys. We're walking up on Romance Awareness Month. And I purposely wanted to do this with you all, with the men, because we're always talking about this with the ladies, and I really wanted to see what the men would say. So we've got Romance Awareness Month that's here. They're trying to mimic it to Valentine's Day, which we do not celebrate because it's Saint Valentine's Day, and we ain't honoring no saints, dead people, and all of that kind of stuff. And if you go to Shantice and Vivian, with all due respect, with Shantice and V, they did an excellent expose, I'm going to call it, on Valentine's Day. So what they're doing is, much like the Malcolm X train stop versus the Malcolm X Boulevard out in Brooklyn, they're doing a whole month, but they're calling it Romance Awareness Month. Now, first of all, let's go with the Valentine's Day and how men feel about Valentine's Day. Do you now want to be pressured, guys, into going into from a day to an entire month? And I'm gonna start with you, Brother Al.
Well, me and Tamika don't celebrate Valentine's Day anyway, so all that stuff. Nah, I don't feel pressure at all because I'm not doing it. Plain and simple.
Okay. All righty. What about you, Brother Ainsley? Is this like, oh well, I mean, now I do Valentine's Day, now I got to do the whole month? What's your thought?
Nah, heck no. You barely got me with that one day out the month anyway. Not gonna do like another what? Nah. Every day of the month? Nah. I'm like, nah, I ain't doing that. And, I
Okay.
used to do it. Nah. So that's all right. If that would that be the case? It's romance day every day of the week. That's it. And so you mentioned that I never heard of it before. It sounds like a money grab commercial. Thing. Get more ways for you to try to spend money. What you supposed to do? Get flowers, buy gifts every day of the week? Nah. I ain't falling for that one. Nope. Not doing it. Won't do it.
All
Can't
right.
do it.
All righty. What about you, Pastor Jeff?
Yeah, I'm not with that neither. Cause I always hated Valentine's Day. I try to dodge everybody on Valentine's Day.
Okay. And what about you, Pastor KL?
Now y'all know I ain't doing that. You talking about you don't celebrate time because you ain't celebrating dead people. I ain't got no dead presidents in my pocket. Not enough anyway. So that's definitely not gonna happen. In my former life, I used to break up with you right before Thanksgiving, and then didn't get back with you until after Valentine's Day. So I ain't had to pay Thanksgiving,
That's what I would do too.
no Christmas,
Wow.
no Valentine's, no New Year. So, and then I come back in March and I apologize. I don't know how I made it without you. Let's get back together in March.
Oh my gosh. Y'all are, oh my goodness. It's good God gives forgiveness. Y'all are trifling. Oh my goodness
I used to
gracious.
hand out pictures of myself to all my girlfriends for Valentine's Day.
Oh my goodness gracious. So what did the picture symbolize, Pastor Jeff?
I'm your Valentine. That's it.
Oh
what they would get.
You should have. Hey, Pastor Jeff, you should have put on there. Wish you were here.
Wow.
Hey,
Y'all are something else.
Pastor Steph, I had one even better. I used to wait till after Valentine's Day when everything go on 50% off and go to the store and buy a whole bunch of stuff and give them out like cards. Hey, I'm so sorry about Miss Valentine's Day. I was working, but here you go, baby.
No.
That same teddy bear that was $15, I got it for $3.99.
You know what? Y'all are something else. Oh my goodness gracious.
That's right.
Tamika says it's highway robbery. Prices of everything is already high enough every day. You pay double on Valentine's Day, triple on the entire month. Absolutely. Shanti says all the broke men take their girls out on Valentine's and don't even pay half the time. Wow.
Here she go.
Well, listen, she was in the industry. She saw who was pulling out the checkbook and the credit card. She saw.
Y'all want a Valentine? Gotta pay for it.
Wow. Wow. Oh, I'm so glad I wasn't caught up in that. Y'all would kill that. Oh my goodness gracious. All right, so I'm moving this into out of how you personally feel, but actually, what do you think God feels about this Valentine's? This Romance Awareness Month, and how we could actually kind of curve it to being something more focused on just general love. And one of the points that's being made, they're saying marriage is a reflection of Christ and the church. How do we parallel this Romance Awareness Month, or how do we convert it? Let me ask that question. If you're going to do the intimacy thing, let's focus on the intimacy side. Let me say it again to the men in the room. Let's focus on the intimacy side. How do we focus on marriage as a reflection of Christ in the church? And how do you put it into your own marriage? Let me ask you that. And I'm gonna start with you, Pastor Jeff. Is Pastor Jeff on?
I'm on. I'm on. Can you hear me?
Yes. How do you parallel, if Nicole were to come up to you and say, hey, what about this Romance Awareness Month? And you would say, listen, I want to focus more on, my my honoring Christ in the church and honoring you in this marriage as my bride. How do we send that message?
How do we send that message? I
Yeah.
don't know, because every month is Romance Awareness Month for me. And I try to, do love her like Christ loved the church. I don't know.
Why is that important? Why is that important? Let me ask you that. Why is it important that you men show, make that connection? Because that's the connection that's made biblically. Why is it important that you show her how it's paralleled in the church, Christ and being married to the church?
Because I got to raise a child in the way they should go.
Okay.
let me not throw that out there and make women mad at me. Okay. But
okay.
I'm supposed to groom. I'm supposed to teach my wife and lead her in like Christ did us. Okay. And teach her the things of Christ. So it's important because we're following what we're supposed to do. And if you want things to work out the way God expects it to work out, then that's how you got to follow suit. So,
Okay. All right. I can live with that one. I can live with that one, Pastor Jeff. Where's Brother Al? Brother Al, you have, your Tamika, and God has charged you as a husband, love your wives as Christ loves the church. So I'm going to ask you a little different question. How does this take away, when you focus on Romance Awareness Month, does it take away from that charge that God has given to you men?
I would say no. The first and foremost, we all know God is love. So if God is love and God is in you, you're love. So it's just like I don't act no different from home than I do at my church with showing Tamika love. And it's to the point where we have some of the elders that I called in the church, and they'll come up to me and Tamika and be like, "I love seeing you guys together. It shows so much that y'all love each other." So I said, "Okay, I'm doing the right thing then, you good, because I love my church, I love my wife, and I'm just showing love all the time."
Okay. Let me go to you, Pastor KL. How would you say, okay, well, we've been, we don't want to get caught up in this world's Romance Awareness Month, but we have been given the charge for husbands to love their wives as Christ has loved the church. Is it a distraction if you now start playing into all these worldly behaviors and activities?
If you play into the worldly activities, it becomes definitely a distraction. But this shouldn't be a new way of life for you. Romance Month shouldn't be anything new for you, because you could be romantic or caring and loving all year round. I used to tell people, if it takes one light-skinned man to have one day for you to say I love you, then you don't love me. If I gotta wait till February 14th to show how much we love each other, that's not love. This is something we're supposed to do all the time. Love her as Christ loved the church. In order for you to follow me, I have to be able to be a good leader and show a good example for you to follow me. So I have to show you love in order for you to respect the leadership.
Okay. Where's Brother Ainsley? Brother Ainsley, is he on, Shantice? Let me see here. Brother Ainsley, are you with us? All right, we're gonna have to come back to Brother Ainsley. While we got some comments in the room. Vivian says, why would they need to extend it? If someone has to extend a fake holiday for you to be loving and romantic, there's a problem. Amen. Shanti says, they wanted her to put her card in the check presenter, but they had to be the one who handed it to the server. Okay, we've seen that game played before. Tamika says, Al shows me love every day, so I have no need to look for items and things on any given day. Tamika, we're not believing you. You trying to make Brother Al look good.
Hey.
Tamika, wait till year 4. You just in year 1. Wait till year 5. Let's see if you still saying the same thing.
No, we in year 2 and we've been together 6.
Oh, brother.
And nothing has changed. Okay? Nothing has changed.
You two ain't telling the truth. Why would you tell the truth in the open company of everybody? Yeah. Talk to me personally, and then I'll see whether I believe you or not.
Okay.
Then tell the story. No, I mean, no, it's true. If you two are showering one another all year long, as you two describe that you do, then there's no reason why, as Vivian said, you need a whole month. What was the point of that? So whether it was real, whether they put it under like the St. Valentine's thing, or whether it was just simply Romance Awareness Month, why? Why are we doing that? And I looked up, should Christians even be a part of this? And is it a distraction? Because in my head, it is. It is a big distraction. So before I'll leave that for my closing. Let's talk about just simply the love of God and how, we're talking about Romance Awareness Month. Pastor Jeff, I'm going to ask you a question. Should we just simply be focusing on showing our fellow man love? Is it that's what we need to make an awareness out of, opposed to the romance side of it, the agape love? Is that more important in your opinion?
Yeah, I think so. It preaches a stronger message. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Yeah, but they're probably never going to make any holiday or a month like that. The world don't want to see that. You understand? Because then that would mean the white man would have to treat the black man, right?
Ooh.
That month. So he don't want to do that.
Pastor Jeff, you hit below the belt. Wow. All right, Brother Ainsley, is it a distraction, this Romance Awareness Month, to the Christian? And should we just be focusing on, hey, we just need to be showing godly love? This world is already full of enough garbage. We need to be focusing on just showing our love to our fellow man.
Well, as a Christian, that's what we should be doing anyway. That should be nothing new. That's what we should be doing anyway. The world's going to do what it's going to do. We should be doing this anyway. Like we are the representation of Christ, and people will ever see, even if they don't ever go to a church or anywhere like that. So, our showing love through how we respond, our behavior. We are the walking visual Bible people will see, and we're supposed to show our love to that's what it's supposed to be anyway, black, white, and every color in between. So but when you first met that the whole romance month, it just seemed like it seemed more of a commercial thing anyway. It just seemed very superficial, man-made, it lacks depth, it lacks anything of real meaning to me. So it'll be great. It'd be great to see. Like, okay, yeah, let's have Love Thy Neighbor month. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. But is that really gonna happen? You know, but we can really do this as a believers. So we supposed to be doing this anyway. You know, even though sometimes some people can get on our nerves, but you know, that's something we should be doing anyway.
Okay. Brother Al, I'll ask you, what do you feel about, just let's focus on agape love. Your romance should be automatic, like you and Lady Tamika expressed to one another. Now, let's focus on godly love.
Yeah, it amazed me on some of these months they come up with all this craziness, and people just buy into it. And then you look at it, okay, you got this romance month or whatever it is, and you're saying every day of the week. There's going to be some females out there looking for a gift every single day. So the store's going to pile up, they're going to promote it, and they're going to make their money. And it's just like my brother said, how about get something that makes sense? You know what I'm saying? Like he said, love thy neighbor. Some things that we really need. It's like I was speaking to somebody about this before. I look at all this stuff that goes on. They got every kind of month except men's month. We don't have a men's month. Where us men need to get it together. How about a men's month where our brothers come together? We got every type of month except a men's month. But we do need to have that where we, just show love to people in general. That's what Jesus did. He loved everybody. He showed love to everybody. It didn't matter who you were, what your status was. He showed you love.
Okay. Well, now you just added a question into the kitty. All right, Pastor KL. We're talking about just agape love. How important is it that we convert this focus on romance to just showing God's love and Christians being the leaders in doing this?
I think that's very, very important. First of all, let me say something to Al. I don't want a men's month. I get scared of Father's Day. I'm tired of the socks and the ties. I can imagine what's going to happen in men's month. No, thank you. I don't need that in my life. Father's Day is already grueling, but it is important that as Christians, to love, unconditionally. We only love when we know that person has something to offer us. You know what I mean? Then we love them a lot, love them a long time. But we have to show God's love. God loves you in spite of who you are, in spite of what you've done, in spite of what you will do. He knows what you will do, and he still loves you. And that's the kind of love we need to have.
Okay. Not Pastor Jeff, Brother Ainsley. If we had a show our fellow man love month, what would be some of the things we would do or we could do as Christian people to be exceptional? I don't want to talk about go get a card. I don't want to talk about, the little trivial stuff we can do. I want to know what can we do as if this were to just branch out and somebody were to just say, this is what we're going to do. What could we do that would just, the Bible tells us outdo one another with love. What could we do that would be exceptional, that would show, what? This is a Christian thing. And that's the problem, Brother Al. We don't have enough Christian-based things where we are leading the way. So I'll start with you, Brother Ainsley. What could we do?
Okay. I think I heard most of what you're saying. It's kind of loud where I'm at. I'm outside. I think you just want to know what could we do to show our Christian love, right? If we were, what ways how we can go about it. All right. First of all, as Al mentioned, for men, we can start doing more mentoring, helping our younger boys start mentoring and say, listen, and we're going to show you some stuff that you don't really learn in the book. Let me show you some etiquette. Let me show you what you got to be prepared to do as a man. Start more mentoring, get more encouragement. Going to those young boys whose fathers is whatever reason is not in their lives. Be the male figure for them, and for the women, young girls too. Be that father figure for them and whatnot. Financial management, helping young folks understand money, so we can be in a more financial place. That they can be in a financial better place later on in life and whatnot. Offering advice, you make yourself more available to our fellow brothers and sisters and stuff. There's numerous ways. Um,
Right.
we should people who need help. You should be helping anyway, but maybe try to do that little extra. Uh, for our people and stuff like that. There's numerous ways. That's just
Okay.
for starters. That's just for starters.
Okay, and that's what we want. We're talking about just for starters because this conversation doesn't come up very often. What if we were to start a month of agape love month? I'm just using that as an example. What exceptional things could we do to show that Christians understand what our job is? Now, before we go there, we know we should be doing these things every day. However, how do we turn it up where this would, let's say for argument's sake, this would be the beginning? How about we do that? This is the launch of something like that. Pastor Jeff, how would you answer that? Brother Ainsley has already said mentor more, show some financial leadership more, instead of you doing it this way, you do it that way, because I've learned from my mistakes. What exceptional things? You have a young son, you have a young daughter. What do you think it would mean to them? What could benefit them as a launch? Let's do it like that. Let's talk about it like that. We're launching Agape Love starting November of 2025. Agape Love Month. And going forward, these are the things that we Christians are going to do more of. What would be exceptional, Pastor Jeff?
Exceptional. Well, maybe grab a bunch of the youth and take them to some Broadway plays, some educational Broadway plays, that would edify and teach them maybe about their culture and all of that.
Okay.
I use my son to kind of gather his friends.
Okay.
To kind of be a little father figure to them, taking them to the movies and different things, and mentoring them.
Okay. So you're on the mentoring tip with brother Ainsley, excuse me, and getting them together and doing some cultural things with them. Maybe taking them on what's his name, Serge's train to the 110th Malcolm X Plaza. Shanti says, "Hey, Pastor Kim, thank you so much for joining us." Shanti says, "Agape Love Month." Okay, I'm not going to read her thing because I want to hear from the men first. All right, Pastor KL, what are we talking about? What can we? They've already mentioned mentoring. We're not going to only, confine this to the month of November, but we're going to start. Awareness Month is going to be the awareness beginning. What are we talking about? What are we doing that's going to be exceptional?
Well, I think from a man standpoint, we should be a little bit more sensitive and being able to listen, and come out of ourselves and actually see where the people are, see where the young folks are. A lot of times we're so strong and we're so hard, we're not sensitive enough to understand why they do what they do. Why they're in the mood that they're in, and we don't really share our experiences. We don't want nobody to know where we came from. We don't share the in my former life, to let them know, listen, I've done some of these things, but you can come out of it. A lot of times when we can't mirror each other, we can't see each other for who they are, and we don't want to go back there in our experience because you look at me with such a high esteem I can't afford for you to see me in any less than what you see me in now. And that's the bad thing. We have to be sensitive in order to get across to these folks.
Okay, all right. So sensitivity gets heightened. Transparency gets heightened. I'm liking this. Y'all are giving me some thoughts here. And Brother Al sparked something earlier, and I'll talk about it when we're done. Brother Al, you're always with the
Oh yeah.
kids. You always see the everyday things. What could we do that would be exceptional? We don't want Romance Awareness Month. We don't want just another month where we're just doing stuff, going through the motion. We want some impactful things. What's the first thing on your list?
It's so funny because the brothers that said everything that I had in mind. So I came up with something. It sounds simple and something that we don't do. But first, I wanted to clear when I said Men's Month, I wasn't thinking of getting gifts for men, just men coming together. Period. So I wanted Pastor Kell to understand I wasn't talking about gifts, just us coming together. But the main thing, and people may think, oh wow, that, and it's something simple that I see every day. I would start off by making it a purpose that everybody speak to everybody. Just that simple. You know how many times I walk up and down the street and people will look you in your face and won't even say, how you doing? And it bothers me to the point where I made it to myself. I said, you know what? I don't care if a person speak or don't speak. I'm going to speak to every person I come across. And I walk up people, and I'm telling you, Pastor, they don't even think to say, hey, good morning, how you doing? Oh, hey, you doing, brother? So I made it my point. When I see a person, good morning, brother, how you doing? And it catches people off guard. They're like, oh, good morning. I'm telling you, women, children, grown men, everybody I speak to. So I would say start off by just being hospitable. Just speak to a person. Person walk by you, say good morning. How you doing, brother, or whatever. I have done that, and somebody was going through something and said, wow, you made my day by just asking me how I was doing. And you just never know. So I would say start off by speaking to everybody. Everybody speak to everybody.
Wow. You guys have given me so many ideas, and we're going to start a trend on here on this Due Time with Pastor Steph. And each day, or as many days during the week as I can, I'm going to take your suggestions as well as think about some things we can do each day that helps us to be exceptional. And I love the ideas that have come across here. Pastor Kim says meet and greet. And that's one of the things I was thinking, Pastor Kim, based on what Brother Al was saying. And Shanti says, Agape Love Month, start acknowledging how people tell you make them feel. Oh, I like that. And either fix or continue to be great. Wow. I like that one. Shati says, showing that you care to love them, showing that you care to love them the way God says they deserve to be loved. I love all of these suggestions. These are just phenomenal suggestions. And you're giving me, again, I say you always send me into a thought-provoking weekend. And the caring and sharing, Pastor Kim, you're correct, is something that we need to focus on, because Pastor Jeff was the first one to say, well, it would kind of, would the opposite side of the fence, be so willing to even speak. It amazes me how they're so Christian and they're so wicked. Oh my God. It amazes me. How the Klansmen go to church. I'm just blown away. And it doesn't mean we do anything differently, but it's just something about that behavior that is just shattering. We got Tamika, who says agape love has nothing to do with what you can buy, but what you can apply. Real love exhibited. Absolutely. I love this. I love all the thoughts. And God spares, come Monday, I'm going to have some things in the works. You have really just given me some stuff to think about, and how we're gonna shift the way the world does things. And unfortunately, Christian people don't do it. We don't do it. We do not make the difference in the world the way we should. See, this Romance Awareness Month, this would take off. This just, I can guarantee you, is just taking off everybody and their mama. Like Pastor KL said, I don't think Brother Al, Pastor KL said that's what you meant as far as Men's Month, but that's the way people do things. You know, their love is shown by buying you things, but all of you have expressed actions. Like Tamika said, it's not about buying, but what's exhibited. Pastor Kim says caring and sharing. All of you men have said mentor, hands-on treatment. So we're gonna definitely get some things. You have definitely sparked some thoughts, and we're gonna make a difference starting here on this Due Time with Pastor Steph, and we're gonna see how infectious all of this is. Okay, and we want to build this channel. I want to tell all of you why you're here that the subscribers are growing. We are through the roof with podcast listeners. We need this channel to grow. You guys are on here every Friday. You KL, Pastor KL, you're on here 4 times a week. There's no reason why we should not be soaring. So we need to make a conscientious effort to make this happen. Now, as we go out next week.
Well, let me ask you. Hold on. Let me ask you a question with that. So, with that, can you put it on our page so that they can tap into it? Because I don't know how to get them in there. You understand what I'm saying? Is there a way?
Absolutely.
You know, before you used to put it out there and they can tap into it. Now it's like, you know, I got to speak to somebody.
Okay, it's become more difficult because my responsibilities have become larger, but I will go back to posting, and it's been my intent to post every day about the following day, and I will make that a bigger effort, maybe get up 5 extra minutes earlier in the morning to do it, whatever it's going to take, so we can, you know, remind people, introduce it to people. So we'll do that. I did ask all of you to send me pictures, you know, so I could post, you know, and use it for our flyer, if you will. So please make sure you all DM me with the most recent picture you have so that I can post. Also, when we're going to start something new, and I will post on all of your Facebook pages. And if you are, and I'm going to say this while you are all here, guys, as well as all of our viewers, if you're on Instagram, Coach for Christian Life, and Shanti's put in, I think we have Instagram, a Closer Walk Media Network, Christian Media Network. I believe there's an Instagram page for that as well, for this YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe and you know, follow us, and, you know, we'll follow you back. And on TikTok, again, Coach for Christian Life. So if you have these social media pages, please look for us, you know, follow us. Again, we'll follow you back. And, you know, we want to grow. That's one of the ways we can grow. Next week, God Spares My 2 Cents is back. We're going to be reviewing 2 movies, one being a throwback, and we're giving the viewers an option to choose the throwback movie. So we have narrowed it down to a Spike Lee joint. 3 movies you choose from. Will it be Do the Right Thing? Will it be School Days? Or will it be Crooklyn? Brother Al, which one should we be reviewing?
Man, I like all of them. I would say Crooklyn. I like Crooklyn. I actually was looking at it the other day.
Okay, all right, great. So listen, if you have not already voted, put your vote in here, because I'm going to announce which movie we are going to be reviewing next week once the guys finish. Why Crooklyn, Brother Al?
It touches so much on real life that we go through. You know, when I look at Crooklyn, I'm like, wow, I remember doing that when I was that age and stuff. It just brought back so much memory of real life on what we dealt with growing up.
Okay. All righty. I'm asking you last, Brother Ainsley, intentionally. Why am I even asking you, Pastor KL? But are we reviewing Do the Right Thing, School Days, or Crooklyn?
School Days.
All righty, School Days.
School
All
Days.
right. This was put in a post. Why School Days?
Because I ain't never seen Crooklyn.
Oh my gosh. Alrighty. Well, that makes sense. I can't vote for something that I ain't never seen. All right. So the votes have been coming in since last night. So I will let you know based on what you all say. Y'all have the final vote unless somebody puts something up here in the chat room. Remember, y'all better vote quickly because I'm after Ainsley, I'm telling it. Pastor Jeff, Do the Right Thing, School Days, or Crooklyn? Pastor Nicole has voted already. What say you?
School Days.
All right, School Days. Why School Days, Pastor Jeff?
Because I don't really remember Crooklyn and Do the Right Thing. I thought Do the Right Thing, but I don't really remember it.
Okay. Well, listen, as much as it makes sense, this was most memorable. So this is what I would vote on. All righty. All right, here we go. Brother Ainsley, what say you?
Okay, hear me? I was mic'd up. Okay, I better remember School Days. I can't remember Crooklyn at all. So I will go with Do the Right Thing. Actually, I was just driving past that neighborhood.
Okay, all righty. All right. Tamika says, I got someone worse than me on movies. Yes, Pastor KL. All right, everybody. As of next week, God Spares Thursday, we will be reviewing. I'll put over the weekend. We'll decide which 2024 movie we will be reviewing because we are working on our nominations for the My Two Cents Film and TV Awards, which will be done virtually in a few months before the year is out. But the viewer's choice said School Days. School Days got the most votes. Wow. So I'll put it out there. So whoever wants to join us can join us. Please make sure you join us next week, Thursday. Also, within the next couple of weeks, we will go back to My Two Cents. We should have been there on Tuesday mornings. So we have Pastor Brenda, Pastor Vinny, Pastor KL, Brother Ainsley, Shantice, myself. We will be, it should be not next week, the following week, because we are way behind in that. We're supposed to be doing that a long time ago. So thank you so much for all your votes. Thank you so much, guys, for voting. Again, you have sent me into a thought-provoking weekend. You have sent us into a thought-provoking weekend, and we pray you have a blessed day.
You too.
Take care.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
We do the same.
All right. Thank you. Wow. Talk about thought-provoking. Well, we have, again, this Romance Awareness Month. And when I saw it, I was like, you have got to be kidding me. One of the guys said that we have a month for everything in your mama day. And, we need, as Christian people, we need to stop letting this world dictate what we focus on. I mean, do you realize that there is Pancake Month, Pancake Day, but yet the Christian person has not spoken up yet? We have not made an impact, but the pancakes have made an impact on our calendar and we haven't. Well, the guys have spoken. They have merged some of the thoughts that I've already had. They've given me some new ideas. And we here on Is Due Time with Pastor Steph, we're going to make a difference. God gave us this vehicle for a reason. And there are a few reasons God gave us this vehicle. However, the biggest thing was to be game changers. I've worked with Brother Ainsley. Brother Al, Pastor KL. I've worked with them for decades, like you've heard me say before. And one of the things, let me see, Pastor Ed, if you remember Pastor Ed, Dwayne, Anika, we've worked together for years. And one of the things, God has always has planted was, awareness, trend setting. We don't do things everybody else does. So we're gonna really take those seeds that were planted and we're gonna do something with them. So hopefully at that point this channel will grow. I look at all of the channels that are out here and I look at the views. And do you realize people have 1 million views on the craziest things? And when it comes to things of God, the views are not that high. When it comes to controversial things, and it says, broad the road that many will follow, narrow the road that only few will find. We're going to change that trajectory. You as viewers, we as Due Time crew members, we're going to change that trajectory, and we're going to help God's people focus on the things of God and the things we need to do. And the conference, the Breaking the Yoke Women's Conference, has been a phenomenal experience. It has made an impact in lives, and we are so grateful to God to do so. It was so impactful that I've had men call and say, when are you going to do a men's conference? Now, interesting enough, I'm like, you a man, why are you calling me? But God is amazing. God is amazing. When you follow what he tells you to do, you'd be surprised the need you find. And it wasn't God's surprise that a man in leadership started that. He didn't even realize he was the first one, but he wasn't the last one. It's several men in leadership. And, for those of you who really have kept your ear to the ground, women pastors are just not very accepted. So my thing is, well, you a man, you already out there. People follow you. What you coming to me for? Well, there's a lot to be said for that. And it's an honor. It's an honor to, be called on to do something like that. Well, it's time to rally. I'm rallying with my Due Time crew members, and I'm rallying with you, my Due Time viewers. It is so imperative that you tell people about this channel. It is so imperative that you tell people about this channel. If you are viewing every day, then you need to tell somebody, because you need to understand why God has drawn you to this channel. So you need to spread the word. We have the subscribers have been growing, and I'm so grateful for that. And I have to thank you for that. We just do what we do. And of course, you talk, you advertise. The follows, oh my gosh, the Instagram follows. Last week, 4 alone. So, I'm grateful. I want to remind you that if you have Instagram, please, follow us. A Closer Walk. Yeah, I was right. A Closer Walk Christian Media Network, as well as Coach for Christian Life. If you have TikTok, I am on Coach for Christian Life. Please, join. The more you connect with me, the more I connect with other people, and the more other people connect with me. And we've got to get this word of God out. As you hear, we do news every day. This world is far than dying. The majority of this world is dead. The majority of this world is the walking dead. And we've got to do whatever it is we need to do to help change the trajectory of our family. Because here's what happens. When we change the trajectory of our family, we then change the trajectory of that block. When we change that trajectory of that block, we then change the trajectory of that neighborhood and community, then the county, then the city, then the state, then the nation, then the world. we know that there will be more that will perish than will make it in. It's already spoken of in the Bible. Broad the road that many will travel and will lead to destruction, but narrow the road that only few will find and will lead to eternal life. So we've already heard from God that the majority will go down. There will be many more that will go down with the enemy when he perishes. He's pulling everybody he can. So you don't want to be one that's sucked up and pulled down into the pits of hell with him, because it's real. So listen to what we talk about every day. And Shanti says it all the time. It is only that much that keeps us. It is only that much of God that keeps us. And don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that only God is in us this much. But listen, there's only a hot second that keeps us from crossing over and being everybody else. It's only a hot second that we cross over till we cross over and we are in the news. We are the news. We are not making the impact that we need to make. So we need to connect with people close, connect with people far, and we will begin to make the difference. Okay? Please, please, please continue to spread the word. Please, if you have not already done so, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. It's with all due respect, with Shantice and V is coming back, God spares, in September. So you don't want to, find out that they've already been on and you've missed the live. Nothing beats the live. All right. That's why you're here every morning. You've been watching It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. Join us Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. where we discuss matters of the heart, mind, and spirit. As you go through your day, be sure to keep your mind on things that are above, not on things that are on the earth. They will only serve as a distraction. Remember, prayer changes things. It's Pastor Steph signing off, and I want to thank my Due Time crew, the men, for coming through big time. Thank you for hanging out with us and helping us do what we do. Please do not miss the opportunity to just take Jesus as your personal Savior right now. If you need that encouragement, if you need that support, Shantice, make sure that number is up in the chat room before we log up out of here. Please make sure you reach out to me. Pastor Kim has a prayer every Saturday morning, which is what we call Sabbath morning, at 9 o'clock. Kim Brooks, she will be traveling tomorrow. I don't know if she'll be on, but listen, we've been blessed here because several of our Due Time crew members have prayer ministries right here on Facebook. So we have Pastor Kim, who does Saturday mornings at 9 o'clock, and it's Kim Brooks, KIMBROOKS. You have our elder Nitisha Moore. Okay, she is Nitisha Moore, NITISHA Moore, MOORE. She's on Wednesday mornings at about 6:15. We have our own Pastor Brenda and Pastor Vinny, who are on Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. They are on their own local radio station. So look up either Pastor Vincent Stokes or Pastor Brenda Stokes. It's STOKES. Okay, check them out. Our Pastor Jeff and Pastor Nicole, his wife, they have Marriage Mondays. So you can catch Pastor Jeff, and he's Pastor Jeffrey Burns, or Pastor Nicole Burns. She's Nicole Burns. And they are on Mondays at 8 o'clock right here on Facebook. So listen, you have like a whole plethora of lifelines that you can use right here. Okay? We are connected to some of the best. So make sure you connect, okay? We love you. We thank you for joining us. God spares. Sunday night will be on the Word Prayer Project, Coach for Christian Life, and here on a Closer Walk Media, Christian Media Network, a Closer Walk Christian Media Network. Until then, God spares. I love you.